Okay, then let's get started. And welcome to our second Mercari mobile meetup. And this time the main topic is mobile engineering. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Let's get started. Okay, so Jatin, can you move to the next slide, please? So casually, I share the event information at the beginning. So this is a mobile hiring online event. So we also have a live streaming on YouTube channel. So if you miss it for pre-registration, you can watch it on YouTube channel. And we are open for any questions. So feel free to leave questions on Q&A section. You can find it the Q&A function on Zoom. And if you don't watch from Zoom link, you can also give us a question on YouTube chat function. Yeah, at Mercari Dev is this is YouTube channel. You can find it Mercari Dev JP on the YouTube platform. And of course, and also please share your feedback or opinion, any comment, your SNS social platform, social network platform, LinkedIn or Twitter with Mercari India hashtag. I'm really happy to check your feedback. So I will search the Mercari India hashtag after this event. So please share your experience on this event. Okay, can you move to next slide? So this is my introduction. So today's MC. So my name is Kayo Osumi. Please call me Kayo. So this is the 5th year for me to work in Mercari Group. So I joined Mercari in 2018 to support 30 engineers onboarding from IIT universities, which means Mercari, we hire a lot of global talent from all over the world. And it has seriously started around 2018. And my first job was to support new members come from India, including other countries. And it was a really good experience for me. I think the one of the speaker today, or Manoj, also was a member and who joined together with me. And we almost worked together for over 4 years at Mercari. And from last year, so I worked on as a employer branding for Mercari India office. So that's why I'm also one of the organizer of this event. Yeah, and we are very happy to get any feedback for our kind of promotion activity. And so I think this is also my unique experience. Before joining Mercari, I was working on Indian startup and living in Gurgaon. So if you ask me where is your hometown in India, so it was Gurgaon, but now it's Bangalore. Yes. Thank you so much for joining today. And move next slide, please. Before starting the main presentation, I bring some pretty quick ice break. Do you know what's the meaning of Mercari? I think before this event, no one knows what is Mercari in India. That's why I bring this ice break. Can you guess what is the meaning of Mercari? Okay, move to the next slide. Yeah, Mercari is a meaning. Mercari came from the Latin word meaning trade or commerce. That's all. That's all. It doesn't have a big meaning. Yeah, but Mercari is a kind of like a Latin word. It's not a Japanese word, English word, but came from Latin word and meaning like a trade and commerce. Because Mercari is the first basic function is like a marketplace. That's why I think this kind of idea that came from this Mercari word. Okay, can you go to the next slide? Yes, this is quick today's agenda. So this is a kind of ice break session from me. And the first session, before the main presentation, we also invite the head of engineering of Mercari India, Mohan, and he will share the quick introduction of Mercari India. Yeah, we set up the office in 2022 June, so almost 7 months has passed, so we can share our past progress. And after that, we have 4 sessions from 4 mobile engineers of Mercari Group. And after that, we have a Q&A time. That's today's agenda. Okay, so let's go to the Mohan's part. Okay, can you start it, Mohan?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Kairina-san, for a very good kickoff in this hiring online meetup event, and thank you everyone who has joined early on a Saturday morning, I would say. Let me share briefly my introduction. So, hello everyone. My name is Mohan. I am currently playing role of head of engineering for Mercari India. I have been part of Mercari for almost 4 years. I joined this company as an engineering manager of backend teams for our marketplace platform, and then played roles of head of engineering for customer reliability platform. And from beginning of 2022, we took a bold initiative to launch Mercari India and Mercari Group's first ever global center of excellence. So today I would like to share more about what Mercari is and why we launched Mercari India and what are our plans for Mercari India. And then later we will jump into the detailed discussion of mobile engineering, which is conducted in Mercari by our great members. So next slide, please. Yeah, so I think Kayorina-san gave a very good introduction or ice break about what Mercari is. Mercari, the meaning is a trade. So Mercari is a largest C2C marketplace application in Japan now. We launched this C2C marketplace in 2013 with a mission of creating a global marketplace where anyone can buy and sell. So as of now, in this 10 years, we have the 10th anniversary this year. In 10 years, we have grown our C2C marketplace as one of the largest in Japan, with over 20 million active monthly users and more than 3 billion items listed on our platform. It's a platform which enables any user to transact, buy and sell their items safely and securely. And Mercari started with this initiative of C2C marketplace, and it became the first unicorn of Japan. With this, Mercari, we established Mercari Inc., and later we grow into Mercari US with the same set of C2C marketplace, and then we grow into the another business area, which I will explain a bit later. Next slide, please. So I wanted to share why Mercari is the largest C2C marketplace in Japan. I think the core of Mercari's strength is its easiness to use the platform, and we are providing the one of the greatest customer experience to our customers in Japan region, as well as customers in US, and it is growing. So some of the key features I would like to share very briefly is Mercari is having a ISCO payment system where the users can transact their items, and Mercari acts as a middle person to hold the payment and ensure that this payment is shared to the seller and buyer without any issues between the users. All right, and that is also one of the very key important area where we are ensuring that our users are finding this marketplace application as a very safe and secure. All right. Another feature I wanted to share is I think the easiness of shipping items on our platform. So we are having a flat rate shipping across the entire country in Japan. And we have also enabled anonymous shipping where users do not need to share their address. And that's how we are maintaining the privacy of the users as well. At the same time, Mercari as a company, we aim to become a global tech company, and a lot of our initiatives, including the businesses, ideally the tech driven. And that is the reason I think our listing features or our recommendations are using the latest technologies such as AI, and which are using the AI enabled automated listing and price suggestions and others. So overall, I think it's a very easy to use platform. We are providing a great customer experience, and that is the reason we are one of the largest C2C marketplace in Japan. Next slide, please. So as I shared, Mercari with its C2C marketplace became the first unicorn of Japan, and with that success, we launched C2C marketplace in US. and it is growing as well. But I think one of our major focus is on Japan region, where we have more than 20 million monthly active users, and we are creating an ecosystem. So in Japan region, on top of marketplace, we launched our payment platform. We call it as a Merpay under the fintech arm. And in 2020, we also connected the business platform to our C2C marketplace application by our Sozo Inc., which is handling our Mercari Shops initiative. Also, in order to leverage and create a circular economy, we are creating more business and services and values for customer through new initiatives such as Mercoin, which is our crypto exchange platform, going to be released this year. Yeah. So, and I think I will move into the next slide, but I think this slide also mentions that we have established Mercari Software Technologies India Private Limited. Jatin, please move to the next slide. Yeah. So as I shared, we launched Mercari India in 2022 June, and it's almost more than 7 months, and I think the journey has been very exciting. So one of the key reason why we launched Mercari India is we wanted to expand our product development capability through global engineering excellence. And India was the obvious choice to create a global center of excellence where there is ample tech talent. And we believe that we can have this tech talent inside the Mercari group, and they can help us contribute to achieve the Mercari group's mission. Next slide, please. Yeah. So let me share brief about what Mercari India's core objective is, what is our thinking process in terms of team setup and how we are going to do that. So as I shared, Mercari India's core objective is to expand Mercari Group's product development capability through global engineering excellence in order to achieve our mission, global mission, and expand into Japan region and US region, and maybe in future going forward globally, right? So I think as we are aiming to become a global tech company, we wanted to ensure that we have a product development capability not only in Japan or US, but outside of that. And we wanted to create a global center of excellence. So the way we wanted to do that is we will hire and onboard top talent in India. We will establish independent teams in India, which will initially be part of larger camps or division inside Japan region or US. And as we grow Mercari India organization, we will have larger group of teams or divisions in India, which will eventually contribute to the Mercari group's growth. Next slide, please. And in order to achieve this core objective, we have very much focused on the team first thinking. All right. Our goal is not about hiring individuals. Our goal is about establishing teams, because we believe that the team is the most effective means of software delivery and not just individuals. And for every team, we are planning that the team should be self-sufficient, where we have the needed expertise in the team, such as engineering manager, product manager, software engineers of different expertise, such as mobile, backend, platform. And that is our team first thinking. Next slide, please. So as we have imagined about this team first thinking, we also came up with a plan that we will go through several phases in order to get the teams to an independent mode. And we thought that we will go through a cycle of forming, storming, norming, and performing. So when we launched Mercari India in June 2022, by that time, we already created team plans with Japan region and US stakeholders. And we have created our hiring plan and started the hiring. At the same time, we established Mercari India as legal entity, and we established initial HR and corporate foundations. And from June onwards, we started onboarding members with the team in a hybrid and integrated fashion with Japan region and US team. And now we are establishing the processes to work together. At the same time, we are transitioning the teams to become self-sufficient and scale on their own, which is our end goal, so that they can contribute to Mercari Group's mission and deliver customer and business values. Next slide, please. Yeah. So I think with this team first thinking and with this core objective, our fiscal year 2023 plan, which is from July last year till this year June, we want to establish a product development organization of about 50 size, but with scalable foundation. Our goal is not just to hire people and get more numbers. Our goal is focused on building the teams with scalable foundation. And in Mercari India, we will create teams for Japan region marketplace, Japan region fintech arm, and in future for US marketplace also. And these are some of the teams we have already planned, and we are already onboarding and establishing them to become self-sufficient. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. So as we are hiring in Mercari India, our career site is open, and we are hiring now from January onwards. We are ramping up our hiring for software engineer, Android and iOS, and more details about mobile engineering will be discussed in next sessions. Guys, next slide, please. Yeah, so to share briefly just about what we are looking for in software engineer Android at Mercari India. So basically, I think we did a very tremendous technically challenged project. We call it as a ground up app, which was almost executed over a span of 2 months, 2 years, where we completely renewed or rewrite our applications from the scratch with the native app development technologies. So for Android, we are expecting, or we are hoping that we will have engineers who can help us in developing native Android app for Mercari and its group companies with this technical tech stack. And you can check the details of our position by using this QR code. Next slide, please. Yeah. So similarly for iOS also, we are looking for engineers who can help us in developing native iOS application. The main tech stack is Swift and related libraries, frameworks, build tools, and architecture frameworks. But you can check the details again from this QR code, and we will have more explanation session in coming few minutes. Next slide, please. So I think before I conclude my talk, I think it has been almost 1 year in terms of planning and establishing Mercari India and onboarding some teams, and we are at a scaling stage now. So if you have time, please check out our 1 year story of Mercari India, and please join us in this exciting journey. Thank you so much for attending today, and let's hear out from our mobile engineers and engineering managers. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you so much, Mohan, for sharing the Mercari India story. Yeah, it sounds very exciting. So yeah, we will start the main today's presentation time. So before presentation time, I announced again for event information. So if you have any question or comment, you can use Q&A function on Zoom. At this time, we don't open the free chat function. So if you have any comment, so you can use Q&A Zoom function on Zoom, you can use it. And if you watch from YouTube channel, you also can put your any comment on the Zoom YouTube chat. We will pick up your comment or question after all presentation. Okay, so then let's get started. The first presentation from Mustafa, engineering manager of Mercari Japan, from Mercari Japan. So Mustafa, can you start it?
Thank you so much, Kayo. Let me share my screen here. All right, hello everyone. So my name is Mustafa. I'm engineering manager here at Mercari. And let me explain a little bit what engineering manager do. Basically, my responsibility is to make sure everyone in the team, all the engineers are happy and productive, make sure that the team is working in harmony, and coordinate with different stakeholders to make goals and priorities for the team to work on throughout the quarter, and make sure also all the engineers have a proper career path at Mercari and they're growing in a certain direction. And I work closely with every single person on the team through one-on-ones and discussions on how to progress with their career path. And in general, making sure the team is as much productive as possible. I'm originally from Lebanon, and Lebanon is just a small country in the Middle East, very far away. I joined Mercari on August 2018, and this photo was taken on the day I joined. It's a mandatory photo that all people joined at the same day. And at that time, Mercari logo was even different, as you can see in this picture. Before I joined Mercari, I worked as an iOS software engineer for 10 years, actually. And at that time, I was working in Lebanon, and I also worked with my friends to make a startup that we started in the US. The startup was also a marketplace app, and at that time, we ended up joining Mercari, the people on the startup. I currently live and work in Hokkaido. Hokkaido is a North Island in Japan, and it's a very beautiful place. It's full of nature, and it's amazing. And then the reason why I live in Hokkaido is that Mercari last year introduced a your choice policy for any member and the organization. They can choose if they want to work at home or they're going to work anywhere else in Japan. And I choose to live and work in Hokkaido. It's a beautiful place. There's so much snow in the winter, so it's really amazing. I really love skiing, so I go skiing every day before I start work. It's like my morning exercise, and that's a really nice thing about working for Mercari. Yeah, that's the office in Tokyo, and we have a very nice office view, and a very nice night view of the office as well is really nice. And this is one of the photos of the Christmas parties that we held at the office. So the office environment is also very, very good. So let me talk about my team. So my team is called the Strawberry Team, and we name and we have a fun way to name our teams. We name them on different kind of fruits. My team is a strawberry team, and we use in the Mercari, we use a camp in Mercari Japan. Here we use a camp system. So a camp consists of multiple teams that they work together. So on the single mission. So, and then the mission of our camp is to focus on the core marketplace experience for our users, buyers, and sellers. So as you know, Mercari is a marketplace app, and the core experience is that's something that we are the main focus of our camp. My team specifically focuses more on the more of the buying experience. So if you want to buy something on Mercari, you would go to the item details of a specific item, and then you can swipe through different images, you can read the description, you can see the shipping information, and if you want to decide to buy, then you're gonna select a payment method, you're gonna maybe use your own points or something like that, and then the whole process, the whole flow of the checkout and the finding an item, and then looking at the item details and then executing the transaction is, and that specific part, like my team is responsible on this. And we have today in the presentations my teammate Anton will also talk a little bit more in details about what we do exactly and how what kind of technology we use and the challenges we face. Yeah, so that's the camp system that I mentioned before. It's provided as a way that multiple teams can work together on the same mission, and it's a really nice environment within the camp system and then within the teams in Mercari, where we really value the diversity and the different member diversity, and then also the work-life balance and the the building of the product. It takes time. So and we do it in iterations, and we aim for goals on the short and medium and long terms. So yeah, I mean, diversity I mentioned in Mercari is really nice. Like we have people from over 40 different countries in Mercari, and 50% of the engineers that work in the Mercari Japan region, they're from outside Japan. And yeah, let me introduce my team actually. And speaking of diversity, so we have the team is formed of multiple people, engineers, software engineers, and also technical product managers, QA members, business analytics members, and designers and things, other domains as well. So my team consists of the front-end engineers, we have a Wills. Wills is actually from Indonesia, and Drew from Australia. He's also a front-end engineer. And we have Joe from Taiwan, is an iOS engineer, and Tomato, who's going to be a presenter today as well. He's from Russia, and he's an Android engineer. And we have Ishikura-san from Japan, iOS engineer. Misha from Russia as well. He's an Android engineer. Kawase-san from Japan. He can do both iOS and Android. So that's something that is really nice in Mercari, where you can also do both iOS and Android and provide value on multiple platforms. And we have Sahil from India, is a front-end engineer. And we have new 2 interns. Actually, they just joined this week. So we also welcome interns in our team. We have Atul from India and Ishwar from India as well. They're Android interns. And also we have technical product managers on the team. We have Kami, AJ, and we have also QA members that are responsible for the quality of our features that we develop. And basically, we have also a system where we have a camp QA system where actually software engineers do their own QA within the team, but also for much larger features that have a larger impact, we also get support from assigned QA engineers on the team. We have Daniel, Nori, and Alexander. And then we have designers that we work also with the designers to provide any kind of like a visual design and the user experience for the features that we're working on. And we have a user experience researcher and a business analytics member where we try to analyze the data and try to read the data, because we try to make as much as possible data-driven decisions where based on the actual like experimentation data, see how the users are reacting with the different experiments and features we're doing. And based on that, we do the analytics, and we have also people on the team that do these kind of things. And in our team, we use the Agile and the Scrum process, and we have a daily stand-up, we have retrospectives and the ceremonies, different kind of ceremonies like a sprint planning and the sprint review and all those kind of things. And me as an engineering manager, also I play some role in facilitation of these ceremonies as well. And this is one of the examples of our daily stand-up bot, where every day we have a different kind of facilitator for the stand-up specifically. And this bot is made of one of the engineers on the team, and then it's integrating with the Slack. And then every day we find a new different random facilitator, and then we have our stand-up as well. My team and in general in Mercari Japan, we really have a very good team building culture. So we try as much as possible to get the team together and build a team that is really fun to work with. So this is just a few examples, photos of the team buildings that we had. Mostly it's food, but sometimes we also do some sports activities, as you can see here in the photo and things like that. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is generally how my team works and the general introduction for my team. And I'll let Anton later in the different presentation talk more about the things that we work on. That's it for me. So thank you so much for your time and attending my presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mustafa. It was very nice presentation. I also saw some photos on your I also saw my face on your photos, which shared your presentation. It was really nice. Okay, so let's go to the next presenter. Anton, can you start your presentation?
Yeah, sure. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay. Yeah. First, thank you, Mustafa, for presenting the team and presenting our values and how we work. Yeah, I guess that was really interesting. Yeah. So now a few words from me. I'm an Android engineer, and my Slack name, as you can see, is Tomato. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we work and what tech we use during our daily work, basically. Yeah, my name is Anton, and I originally came from Russia. Yeah, I have, I think, more than 10 years of experience working with different kind of software, So I started as an embedded engineer. I was doing backend. I was doing projects for Raspberry Pi, if you know what it is. I was doing projects for front end, and then I was doing iOS. And then finally, I decided that I want to be an Android engineer. And I think overall, like I have more than 5 years of doing Android so far, and I'm going to continue that. Yeah. So Mustafa already mentioned, but basically our team is called Strawberry, and what we are trying to do, trying to make marketplace experience of our users better. What exactly it means? We are trying to make new features. We're trying to conduct experiments, and we're trying to generally improve the overall experience of the buying process of our users. Specifically, what I'm talking about, you can see 3 major areas. We have item detail, we have checkout, and we have notifications. These are not only screens we are responsible for to make, but these are major screens. So there are multiple places where we can work on here. Like we have promotions, we have comment section, likes, we have different payment systems, points, coupons, everything basically. And we're trying to bring this to life and help our users to make a full use of our service. Yeah. What about tech stack? I guess that's the most interesting part. Yeah, so Mercari is really a progressive company. We are moving fast, and as it was already mentioned, we did a full rewrite, like it's called ground up, and we tried to use all the latest tech we wanted to use. So it's Kotlin only, and it's Jetpack Compose only. Yeah, we use Jetpack Compose as the early adopters, and obviously we use Kotlin. And also it's MVVM and clean architecture. Well, kind of clean architecture. It's still self-written architecture, which is constantly evolving. Like basically, I think every month, every few months, we have like a major update. We have new major practices to apply. For dependency injection, we use Dagger and Health. And for all the networking, all the concurrency, we use coroutines and coroutines flow. Yeah, not the last to mention. We use JUnit for testing. Yeah. So what are we going to do with this tech stack? Yeah, we can apply, but with a modern tech stack come a lot of challenges, technical challenges, and I'm going to explain you 2 challenges we had in the past and will still have. Yeah, challenge 1. You can see we have a checkout screen, and users can use multiple payment methods, and they can use points. They can use everything they want to make a purchase. So in the past, it was easy. Like you sell something on Mercari, you get points, and you buy a thing using these points. Easy enough, right? But then there comes another system, which is Docomo, and our users could use another system to buy goods on Mercari. Then there were funds introduced, which is actual money you can use on Mercari. And then coupons were introduced. And then payment method fees, because if you use credit cards, it's a one fee. If you use convenience store payment or something else like a carrier payment, that's another problem. There is another fee for this. We also have running promotions, which directly affect. They might give you a discount, or they can block you from using a certain payment method, of course. And also we have a lot of business-driven logic and a lot of business-driven restrictions of how things can be used and how things cannot be used. So you can imagine, like, this started as just points, and then it grew up to like gigantic infrastructure, and we have a lot of logic inside the application to handle this. This was okay to maintain, but the problem started to appear when our managers, like our product managers, they wanted to introduce new features and new things to try. And with the problem is that with every single update of the logic, the client application needs to be updated. And this is really hard. So there was made a decision to move everything to backend. Well, piece of cake, right? Should be easy. It sounds at least easy. Like you have logic in your client and then you move it to the backend. That's easy, right? But the problem is that before, everything was synchronous. So every single function was just returning a result. But now it has to be moved to the backend, meaning that in order not to break the whole screen, we need to somehow make it asynchronous. We're lucky because we're using coroutines on Android, so it was relatively easy to think how we can do it. But when we actually started implementation, there was a huge refactoring, because now you can imagine every single function which mutates the state of checkout screen should be a suspend function right now. And the function should not only just return a result, it should also return like a state, whether it was successful or not, because it's entirely backend driven. We were working closely with the backend team to define an API to understand how things can be done. And it was really, really challenging, and we're still working on it. The other thing is that when it's locally calculated, it's instant. So you just apply points, you immediately see the result. Again, the problem is that if you use backend, you have to consider loading delay. So you have to keep user attention on the screen. That is really challenging part, because you have to think about error scenarios, like what happens if API call fails and then user cannot apply points, for example. We don't want that. So that's a lot of there are a lot of challenging things here and to think about, and we are currently working on this. Yeah, as an example, on the right side of the screen, you can see like how it might look in the future. Yeah, as you can see, we use all the latest stuff and approaches like suspend functions, Lambda equations, Kotlin DSL, and everything. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to share. Yeah, thank you for your attention. And I guess we can switch over to Manoj.
Thank you so much, Anton. Okay, let's move to the third present speaker. So Manoj, can you start your presentation?
Hello everyone. Thank you, Anton, for talking about the Android side of things and also explaining about your team. Now I will introduce my team personalization core, and I will also talk a bit about iOS stack. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Manoj Kumar, and I joined Mercari as a iOS engineer. I'm from Hyderabad, and I graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 2018. After my graduation, I joined Mercari as a new grad. I mostly worked on iOS apps, but during my free time, I also worked on Flutter. And in my university, I worked on embedded systems, IoT, and Android as well. I like reading books, playing video games. I'm indoor kind of person mostly. So about my team is responsible for connecting items to the users, especially buyers. We bring personalization features so that the items are sold more fastly. And since it is involving the buy side, our team is mostly in charge of screens, which help with discovery of items easily. So as for my team is made of many engineers from multiple platforms. We have iOS engineers, we have Android engineers, web backend. We also have QA designers and all other teams that support with development of a feature. We have like engineers from more than 6 countries in my team. So Stephen is my manager, and me and Raksan work on the iOS team, and we also have Joshi who will be presenting next, and Vaibhav Shaufan who work on Android team. We also have Romy from web, Bharat, Alex, and Kari from backend teams. So the domains our team is in charge of are like most important domains are home and search, because they are the places where it will be easy to find items. And we add personalization and recommendation system to everywhere, so that items can be easily recommended to the users, and they are sold out promptly. So some of the things we have worked on include showing on the home screen, we show liked items to the users, like users can like their items and they are displayed on the home screen. We also recommend items based on the user item history, and we show recommendations based on those. We also recommend topics to the users, like if there is a Christmas event going on, we recommend the gifts the users can buy on the topics page. We also have ways to like save the search conditions so that they can be revisited again in the future. And on the search screen, we are responsible for searching an item. We are responsible for showing all the items on the search screen and also filtering items. All the UI are driven mostly by the server. The server is responsible for showing all these components and everything. And we mainly display the items in order to make it more future friendly. Like in case in future, if we want to have new component, only changing the server is enough. And that way we will be able to improve the development speed a lot. And as for iOS, we use 100% Swift. We don't have any Objective-C code at all. And for the UI, we use Swift UI. We started adopting Swift UI after the ground up initiative. And we use a modular architecture, which is more friendly with declarative UI. And it is a custom architecture, which is inspired from Redux, clean architecture, and composable architectures. And as for the build system, we use Bazel system. It is really good for us because usually like big iOS apps take a lot of time to build with Xcode. And by Bazel, we can use build cache, which improves the reduces the build speed by a lot. Like our apps build in less than 1 minute, even for like incremental builds, and for clean builds it takes around 2 to 3 minutes, which is very fast. We use Circle CI for our deployments and other backend related and other test related stuff. And some of the challenges we have tackled recently include a ground up app. Like we created the complete iOS app from scratch, and it is currently in the production. It is already released to the production, and it is using Swift UI. If you might have used Swift UI before, you might have known the performance issues with the Swift UI. So we had to make sure that the app is production ready, and it needs to be as performant as the previous UIKit app. So we had to improve it a lot, and we also use UIKit interfaces whenever necessary to improve the performance. And we also have client logging systems, which are used for getting data from the users. That way we will be able to recommend good items to the users based on their usage. 1 second, I will be back. Yeah, also we have a lot of users, like we have millions of daily average users. And in our user base, like we have people with a lot of disabilities as well. So we want to support users with all kind of disabilities. So we have good accessibility features in the app. We have dynamic font size enabled, and we also have voiceover features. And we are currently planning to release a localization to the users, like foreigners who don't know Japanese can also use Mercari with English apps. And we also plan to release dark mode in the future to all the users. And as for our team, we have a lot of people from all kinds of countries. In Mercari, the total Japanese employees count is less than the foreigners. So you can understand that we embrace diversity. Also, like we have a blameless culture. If there is anything wrong happening, we usually never blame any person. We believe that all incidents are useful for our self improvement, and we try to improve our processes. Also, for individuals, we promote personal growth and development. In my case, like I'm currently an iOS engineer, but I'm also learning backend development, and uh, that is completely because I was interested in backend. And yeah, anyone can do whatever their interests are, and Mercari supports a lot with the dreams of the individuals. We have in case of like features, we adopted data driven approach. We try to depend on the data in order to release the things to the users. If we are not able to make any decision based on the data, we usually go with the personal preferences in order to improve the code base. And we believe in maintaining a strong documentation culture and sharing knowledge with all the people. That way, like new employees will be able to catch up with all the things faster, and it will help with reducing the friction among teams. And we embrace automations. Mustafa shared a automation with like Slack bot for stand-ups, right? And like whenever we find similar challenges, we try to automate them. And it is also very useful for the personal growth of the individuals who work on them. Some of the fun things we do include, like we have act weeks once every quarter or 2 quarters, and in those act weeks we try to come up with ideas and present them to the stakeholders. That way we will be able to release the features we want uh, to the production. The feature doesn't even need to be related to Mercari at all. It can be anything you want to do, and you can still share it with the stakeholders and get good feedback. We also have movie nights where we watch movies with the team in a meeting room or even online. During the COVID situation, we finished the complete Harry Potter series, and we also watched a lot of movies. We watch it once every 2 weeks in the team, and we have a lot of team lunches, dinners, and parties as well. And there is a very good system in Mercari called club system. That way, like if you have any hobbies and you want to pursue those hobbies, you can like form a group of 5 people, and you can do activities. Mercari will even sponsor for those activities, which you do with your teammates or club mates. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you. Next, Joshi will be talking about the Android perspective of my team.
All right. Thanks a lot, Manoj. Hey guys, let me quickly just share my screen. Okay. Yeah, so right, you guys can see my screen. So hey guys, let me introduce myself. I'm Abhinav Joshi. I'm going to talk about the personalization core team, especially from an Android engineer perspective. So before that, let me just start off about myself. I'm currently the Android tech lead for my team in Mercari, and I've been with Mercari for almost 5 years now. I actually joined with Manoj as well, and I am in Manoj's team as well. So my main responsibility is to create like a scalable architecture for the Android app, while taking time to review a lot of code, make sure it's delivered bug-free, it's testable, following all the clean architecture principles, as well as creating like a better team by hosting and like having like cross-functional workshops to encourage communication and collaboration. Yeah, and I'm currently, as I mentioned, like we're working in a cross-functional team, so that means working with QA, PMs, designers, and yeah, you have to work closely with them, make sure to plan sprints, prioritize tasks, and at the same time making sure like all the technical debt that is built up, you have chances to introduce that self to the sprint so that you can reduce it. And while doing that, you have to communicate with the stakeholders to make sure all the deliverables are met in time. So that's a bit about me professionally. Personally, I love to travel, meet new people, try out new food. And I recently rediscovered my love for snowboarding in Japan. So yeah, what do we do in the personalization team? So like Manoj mentioned, like the personalization team handles mainly the buyer interaction and how the user experiences their custom UI user experience. So the main goal of a team is to make sure that people feel at home when they browse for items. We want them to make sure they discover things that are related and similar to their searches, as well as browsing habits. So what this does is creates like a personal experience for the user that is unique to each and every person. So for example, if I really like shoes, then like Mercari, like my team wants to promote new brands of shoes or new designs to me. So yeah, that's what we do with the personalization team. Our main domain of the app that we have is the home, as well as the search part of Mercari. So the home screen is a very complicated screen. This is where the user first comes in and actually interacts with the app. So in the home screen, we have like a system of dynamic components in which, based on the user, we show them components in specific places with specific items or specially targeted banners. So what this does, it makes sure that only the users which actually want to see that item see them, and not like it's not just blasted to everyone. So yeah, and we want to make sure that this component-based home screen is also very easily changeable by the PMs. So for example, if they want to promote a particular feature, they can easily just grab a component and yeah, just publish it online so all the users can see it. Moving in to search, I think Manoj already covered it, but let me just go through it again. So yeah, search is where we offer the dynamic search to make sure the user gets the best recommended items to him. And we also provide like dynamic generated filters based on the user search. So for example, maybe I'm looking for a bag or something. So automatically, the filters will be correlated to like brands of bags and maybe like sizes of bags if you want like a big bag or like a small one. So yeah, that's mainly the search part. And we also have this really nice screen called the Save Search screen where we want to make sure the user gets to know like the latest items that keep on popping up because yeah, like items in really great demand, they tend to get sold out really fast. So we want to notify the users if the particular search constraints have like a new item or yeah, new listings, so they can buy it as soon as possible. Yeah, and so what does my team use as a tech stack? I think Anton also covered that previously, but yeah, let me just go through it quickly. So yeah, we use 100% Kotlin. We also have Jetpack Compose. Almost all the app is made with Jetpack Compose, and yeah, working with that was a bit hard, but it paid off because we were also using a design system. So what this basically allows us to do is using Compose and design system, it just makes creating features just like plug and play. So for example, if I just want like a thumbnail, I would just like write a function for like, yeah, just call thumbnail and it would automatically render it with the same design constraints as present in the design system. Moving on, we have the clean architecture in MVVM and Dagger Hill. So yeah, this is basically very basic standard stuff these days. And we do want to create an environment in which each feature team has its own set of leeway for architecture, and we want to follow this particular guidelines, but at the same time we want to have some flexibility for teams to have the chance to have their own certain architecture. Moving on to dependency injection, we just use Hilt. We migrated from Dagger, so now we use Hilt for it. And we are using coroutines and coroutines flow mainly, along with JUnit 4 and 5 for unit testing. So yeah, what sort of challenges does my team face on a day-to-day basis? So yeah, so we have faced a lot of technical challenges, something like, for example, creating like a scalable component architecture for home, because we wanted it to be dynamically generated from the server side. Creating that while having a good performance was really difficult. Also, like complex view support with Compose gets really hard, especially with more and more complex views. The rendering time or the recomposition time starts getting increasing. So we want to make sure most of the data is immutable, and yeah, we want to optimize basically everything to make sure the screen does not get recomposed and has good performance. The other thing is sometimes when you have like a complicated screen, you want to make multiple network requests. These could be sequential or concurrent. So yeah, we want to make sure all these happen smoothly and correctly. So unit tests at this point make very a good sense, because that way you can make sure these are happening correctly. And last one would be like technical debt. We never want like debt to build up. Even with the new architecture and the rewriting the app from scratch, we still started to accumulate tech debt, because things keep on changing and libraries keep on getting updated. So we want to make sure that tech debt is minimized. And we also have the soft skill challenges. So soft skills are basically skills that happen which are not technical or something that you can study, but something that is related to human interaction. So one of the major things that are quite difficult are like communication. So to improve on that, we have a lot of workshops. We try to make a lot of team buildings. We want to promote communication. We keep an open channel and Slack, so anyone can post anything. Yeah, next thing is blockers. So for resolving blockers, we usually want to reach out to shareholders or reach out to people, and communication at this point helps, because if you reach out to people, the blockers, you'll realize that this just get unblocked really fast. And conflict resolution. So of course, when you're working with a lot of coworkers, you might have some conflicts at some reason. So to resolve that, you need to have like an open environment in which communication, like I mentioned before, is really nice. And yeah, people, once they start communicating, these things just disappear. And learning from past mistakes. So one great thing about Scrum ceremonies is that you also have like a retrospective. So during the retrospective, you can take up all the things that maybe went wrong during the sprint, talk with people, and come up with some sort of solution. It might not always work, but yeah, come up with solutions to basically try to make sure the mistakes that were made previously were better. And the last thing would be like organization and knowledge bank. So yeah, having like a good set of documentation for what you're doing and making sure it's in an organized way makes it very easy for example, if you're working with some other team and you want their reviews. So it makes it easier for them to get onboarded, as well as understand what the problem is and how they can resolve solution. So yeah, I think that's all about what we do in my team. And yeah, this is my really awesome team. I think Manoj already mentioned most of the people, but yeah, so we have front-end engineers, we got iOS engineers, we got back-end engineers, and yeah, it's a great bunch of people that have been with me for almost 3-4 years now. And moving on to what we do for fun. So yeah, Manoj also mentioned about Hack Week. So Hack Week's really great. You get to code. You could code on whatever you want, and it could relate to Mercari, it could not. But usually people come up with amazing ideas, and a lot of the ideas are actually integrated into the Mercari app as well. But yeah, it's an amazing time to try out anything you need or like want to work on. So yeah, Hack Week's really cool. We also have club activities. Basically, you can open up any club you want. If you're interested in hiking, you could grab a bunch of colleagues, go for a hike, and Mercari will support you with that. Team buildings are always amazing. Yeah, gives a great chance for you to interact with your colleagues and yeah, just get to know them better. And yeah, this actually helps in making the communication field go from being a very restrictive one to a much open and better environment for communicating. And yeah, we also have movie nights in our team. So movie nights are basically where we watch movies on Watch Party together, and it's a nice way to relax. And another great opportunity is Lunch and Learn, where usually we practice some lead code, or maybe yeah, if someone went to a conference, we have like a presentation or something. It's an awesome time to actually eat as well as interact with your colleagues and basically learn. And yeah, that's all about current team. And thanks a lot, you guys, for joining. And let me move on. Oh, okay. So I think we have the QA session now. So
Yes, we
Jatin,
will
can you
start Q&A session. Thank you so much, Abhinav, for sharing your experience as an Android engineer. Thank you so much. Okay, so from now we will start Q&A session, and also you can ask us any questions. And we already got a lot of questions so far. So I want to pick up from the current questions from Q&A function. And also we got some questions from YouTube live streaming as well, so we will answer it. Okay, the first, I think mainly we got the question about internship program, undergraduate student looking for summer in 2023 internship. So do you have any internship information, Jatin? Can you answer
Right.
it?
Sure, yeah, let me answer this. I think that there are a lot of questions about internship or new graduate hiring. So let me summarize and probably give a message to you on that. So since last few years, Mercari has realized the best way to hire like new graduate talents is to offer internship positions, and based on the performance, give full-time offers. And this way, like both the company and the talents are able to make like good due diligence. And with Mercari India being set up just last year, we have a very few internship positions this year. And actually, we opened this position like I think a couple of months back, and we got like overwhelming response. And since we have like a very few positions, we have like closed the internship position for now. So it's a bit unfortunate, but I hope like you could join sometime in the future. And as a continuation, for now, like we are focusing on our hiring efforts to hire experienced engineers in Mercari India. So yeah, like that is the response. So yeah, like we have closed the internship position for now, but I hope like we open it very soon in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much for Jatin. So please, for example, like we will update our information on the corporate site and LinkedIn page, so you can check the newest information on both platforms when we open the next time. Okay, so we also got some question about like a Indian market, like a plan. So Mercari business plan in Indian market with a more long-term perspective, I guess. So Mohan, can you answer it? So for the current business plan in Indian market?
Yeah. Let me answer very briefly. I think we covered this topic on maybe some of our websites and through our articles also. But as you can understand, when it comes to a business decision, it may not be easy to launch a business in a completely new country. So as of now, we do not have any plan to launch business in India. For Mercari India, I think at least as of now, our entire focus would be on establishing a global center of excellence, which can contribute to the Mercari Group's mission and which can focus on delivering values for our customers who are, as of now, focused in Japan region and US as well. So that's a summary for that question. But for Mercari India specific plan, I think I shared briefly today, but please check our career website as well on the details. There are videos from CTO, from myself, and from our employees on what are our plans and what we are doing about it. I think the focus will be on establishing global center of excellence. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we got some questions. Let me check in the market. And so can you please share the skill set or strategy required to be part of Mercari Android development team? So I think we already shared what kind of skill set we need for application. So, and you can check from the career website, and we will share the link after the event, and you can check the all requirement for application. But is there anything? Is there any follow-up from Anton or Abhinav? So what kind of skill set requirement for Android engineer? I think you already mentioned in the presentation, but if you have any additional.
Yeah, so mainly we don't have like any particular skill set except for like basic Android and the standard libraries, and that should be good.
Yeah, just to add up,
always...
we don't require Jetpack Compose for a candidate to know.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, and okay, so I think we got the question for hiring process. So any specific reason for not providing interview feedback to candidate? So is it a question for, I think this question is for Jatin?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, usually we provide like a generic feedback, like in case someone is not able to, pass through the interviews. But like at the same time, if you need like more specific feedback, please feel free to reach out to the relevant recruiter in charge. And I think I'm sure like they would be able to give you like more specific feedback. But as a policy, I think we just like provide a generic feedback. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Okay. Thank you so much. And let me choose the question from YouTube channel. We already answered the internship and the new grads program. And this question also will for Jatin. So do you have a plan? Do you know when we will have a Build at Mercari program? Do you know it in 2023?
Right. I think, yeah, like, so Build at Mercari is usually, is organized by the, Mercari Japan region. And honestly, like, I don't have much context on that. But again, if we are willing to launch it this year, then we'll be announcing it on LinkedIn and other SNS. So yeah, my only request is to keep following our SNS or check our careers page for any open position. But yeah, like that specific program is, like a Japan specific program. So it will be held in Japan.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. You can check the newest information from our website or SNS on LinkedIn. And the next question, does Mercari mostly work with Android and iOS engineers, or there are other people working in web development, data scientists, data science, or ML roles? I think this is yes, but do you have any specific comment from Mohan?
Yeah. So as a Mercari product development and engineering organization, we need members with different expertise in order to accomplish the entire user journey flows and provide the best customer experience, right? So in order to do that, I think from including Android, iOS, we have teams, backend specific teams, platform specific teams, machine learning and data science related and data pipeline related teams. So far in our Tokyo and US product development organization, we are having full set of teams. In Mercari India, as you might be aware, we have ramped up our backend hiring in the first 6 months. But as of now, our focus is on hiring for mobile and also hiring for platform. In future, in Mercari India, for our fiscal year 2024, starting this year July, we may open machine learning and data science related position. So please watch out on our career website.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, please check our newest information. We will update our opening position. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Is Japanese a must to have to work at Mercari? Is Japanese a must to have to work at Mercari? I see all the UI in Japanese in the mobile interface app. So yeah, I think it's a good question, I guess. So who will answer this question? Anyone can.
Mustafa can.
Mustafa can. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Japanese is not required at all. Only English is required in the Mercari. I speak zero Japanese, so yeah, I'm managing team of more than 10 software engineers, and although the interface is in Japanese, but we have an internal development environment where we can see the app in English, and we don't really need to if we need something to be translated, we can use any translation service and we can get it translated. The most important thing for us is to have the engineering skills required to build the product, and language is just a tool. So we don't actually require any Japanese, although that you can see the app in Japanese and everything. It's for me, it's more challenging to work on an interface that I can't read, and I feel that is valuable for me. But yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let's move to the next question from YouTube platform. I think this is a question for hiring process. Do we have end-to-end test in the Android code base? So can you answer it, Jatin or Anton or Abida?
Yeah, I can answer. Yeah, so E2A tests, yes, we do have them, but luckily engineers are not required to write them. We have a dedicated QA team who works with automation stuff. Yeah, they write tests, they write scenarios, they use tools like a test trail and I think some others. But the only requirement for engineers, for mobile engineers, is to fix the test if you broke them due to your feature. That's the only requirement we have. So dedicated team works with E2A tests. That's the answer.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me check. Let me check the questions. I think we got a lot of questions so far. Got one question: how many fruit genes for Android app? Any info about the design system team of Android? So Anton or Abhinav can answer this.
Okay, so fruit teams. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't really know the exact number of teams we have. Maybe Mustafa can reply later. So about design system, we used to have design system team, and they actually made a whole design system for us. It didn't only include Android engineers. It included designers, product managers, iOS engineers, Android engineers, and front-end engineers, because design system is for every single platform. So right now, the system, I think it is being discussed, so we will move to the next generation system. So current design system is just being used and in support mode, I think. Yes, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let's. I will check. I will pick up the one question. I think this is a more like technical question. So with the refactoring, have you also adopted modular architecture for Android? Any plans to switch to KMM? So can you answer it, Anton or Abhinav?
Yes, we have more than 25 engineers in Android team. So naturally, if we want to collaborate in order to avoid gigantic, really long build times, of course we made our application highly modularized. Like we have, I don't know how many modules, maybe 40, 50, I don't really know. We have a lot of modules.
I think around 200 or something.
200, oh my God, thank you. So it's even more than I expected. Yeah. About KMM, yeah, we are aware of this, and I think I saw someone discussing it, but no plan so far. Because the main problem, we have to onboard a lot of people, including iOS engineers. Yeah. Yeah, KMM stands for Kotlin multi-platform. Yeah, so that's the answer.
Okay, thank you so much. So next question, I think this is also technical question. What you are using for localization in Android app, automated or manual? Is this a technical question, I guess?
Yeah. So we have both. Previously, we used to have like an automated system, but then we do have like the translation team verifying those translations slowly. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Abhinav. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think it will be the last question from Zoom. How do you speed up the PR review process?
And we make sure we write very detailed like PR descriptions, attach screenshots, videos. If there's a design doc ready, then that's good. And usually you're reviewing PRs in the same team, so the colleagues are quite familiar with the project and what you're working, and you also can do like pair programming sessions with your team. So that helps give a lot of context. Yeah. Yeah, Anton, you want to add something?
Yeah, to add up, we have daily reminders. I think it's twice a day. So your Slack, you will be pinging Slack if you need to do a review. Yes, so you won't forget definitely. And I think some teams, at least my team, we have kind of a policy like if you basically agree with everything the person did, you can approve the pull request with some comments, like because we trust each other, like we have even trust and openness value. So if you trust the person, we basically approve APR and just leaving comments so the person can fix them and then merge by him or herself.
Okay, thank you so much. I think this will be the last question, I guess. Does Mercari hire self-taught developers, or is it required to get a degree? I think this is also a nice question. Who will answer it? Mohan? Anyone can answer, I think.
I think I can answer this.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Manoj. Thank you.
I'm from IIT, but my actual major was not computer science engineering. My major was electrical engineering. So I think Mercari does hire people who are self-taught, and it doesn't matter whether you are like a computer science engineer, as long as you are good at what we do, and as long as you meet our requirements, it's enough.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so I think we answered almost questions, and yeah, we can show some photos of his photo during the last Q&A time. This is a photo we took in the office yesterday. This is Shivani and Manoj. Yeah. We currently have an office in WeWork office. Oh. Yes, so and today there are some members from Mercari India office. So do you have any comment, for example, Vaibhav or Kiran, Ravi, or Shivani, if you have any comment?
No, Kayosan, as such, I think it was a great session and most of the questions has been answered.
Yeah, overall it was nice. Yeah, when I joined 10 days back, got a lot of information again. Yeah, it's good session, technical side also. Yep.
Thank you. Oh.
Also, from my side, I would like to say that it is a very great onboarding experience. If you guys onboard and you try to join, it will be a great experience. You will not never regret this part. So I have taken a lot of decisions, and that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's all.
Oh, thank you so much. Manoj, thank you so much sharing the last one question. If you have good project in different framework but keen to work in Mercari, does it count? Is it possible? Can you answer this question? Maybe Manoj, can you answer it?
If I understand correctly, like you meant to say good projects in different platforms, right? It still is okay to diverge in the paths, and it is okay to. I think Mercari welcomes those candidates who work in different kinds of fields. It is very useful for the personal development of that candidate. So I think there will not be any issues. But still, like we would encourage you to learn more about the platform you are applying to. That way, like you will be able to pass the interviews without any issues or concerns. So, like we need both the candidates who know everything, and also candidates who specialize in their path.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I also agree that comment. Thank you for answering, Manoj. Okay, so this is a closing time. Yeah, this is a picture we had a Christmas party at our office. Yeah. Okay, so let's move to the last page. Almost closing time. So thank you so much for everyone to join our mobile online meetup. And this is a job JD for opening position mobile engineers, iOS and Android. So if you are interested in working with our group, you please apply for both positions. And also we update our information, daily information on LinkedIn account and corporate site. So please follow our website. Okay, so this is a closing time. Do you have any closing comment? Anyone like Mohan?
Me? Yeah, so I think again, thank you everyone who have attended this session through YouTube and through Zoom, and thank you for asking us so many questions. I hope we have answered your queries, and at the same time, I hope we can share some lights on what kind of challenging mobile engineering we are doing for Mercari, and also what kind of plans we are having for Mercari India. And thank you, Kayorina-san, Jatin, and all the panelists who helped in hosting this event and helping in sharing about the overall content. And at last, I would like to say that please, I think, go through our career site and details about Mercari India. And if you are interested, please join us in this exciting journey. And yeah, thank you, everyone, again.
Thank you, Mohan, closing comments, and you can check the all contents on YouTube channel because we have a live streaming, and let's see next time soon. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.